Hello, everybody. How are we all doing today? Welcome to the Storytellers Hearth Weekend Relay. This is stream number 5. It is also, let me turn my iPad down. I don't need that on. It is also day 83 of my 1991 challenge. I'll just sneak that in there. How is everybody doing?
Thank you.
Got Keiko here. Hello. Samba Honey. Mei Lin. Hello. Some Deep Mystery. Cool Gamer. Oh, so many people ready to do some writing, hopefully. Hi. Or at least some productivity.
Hi, everyone.
How everyone? I hope you guys are all having a fun time during the relay that is going on this weekend. Let me know how productive you have been so far. Started yesterday evening, I do believe. Weirdo.
Yeah.
I've got kids running around in the background. You will see them. I do apologize. Let us go around and get everybody introduced. If we want to start this side with Alyce.
Hey everyone, my name is Alyce. I have a YouTube channel called Alyce Reads, and I post on Mondays and Thursdays usually. And I apologize, I have a little bit of a cold, so. And I have an IG, Instagram, and that's pretty much just me.
Kat.
Hi, I'm Kat. I have a YouTube, Kat Author _2021. I write young adult fantasy novels, and I have written 2 novellas this year, so it's pretty cool.
My turn.
Yep.
Hi, I am Andrea. I have a YouTube channel that doesn't have anything other than a few streams. So I hop here now and there to write. I'm a co-host of whatever you want because I don't have the executive function to actually have a proper YouTube channel. So here I am to support everyone who wants a co-host anywhere.
And hello, everyone. I'm Shanon. I write under the pen name of SD Houston, author of fantasy romance. I write about broken characters who face adversity to become better versions of themselves, and there may or may not be a dragon, but there's always love to find. I also do have a YouTube channel under SD Houston where I do weekly writing sprints, but I'm also part of 1/3 of the Self-Publishing Tips and Tricks podcast with Ben Pick from Running to Write and Morgan Lee. And now 1/3 of the chairs of the AuthorTube Writing Conference. We're heading into our 3rd year. That is happening this next weekend. Starts on Friday. We have 45 speakers who are coming to talk about all things writing and publishing. We have $4,500 worth of giveaway prizes that happens during the conference. So please come and check that out. That is linked down below in the box. That is the website. But if you also go to my channel or to any of the chairs channels, which is Margaret Pennard and Devin Gambrell Clark, we do have the playlist of the AuthorTube Writing Conference up there right now. You can see all the things that are published right now so that you can see what's going to be happening next weekend. And I forgot to put in there because it's still new. I just got onto Ream, which is a platform developed by authors for authors. It's subscription. And right now it's free to follow anyone on the platform. I have a profile there. It's linked down below. If you follow me on the platform, you will get my novella as I'm writing it. It is a small town epic romantasy novella. Released a couple chapters already and released weekly on that. So if you go follow, you can also get those chapters. So that's me.
That's great. And I'm Sarah. I'm your host. I do very sporadic at the moment writing vlogs, channeling my journey to becoming a traditionally published author. I'm also live streaming every day until the end of June for my 1991 challenge, which is going great. It's going fun. Everybody and all their details are linked down below. 100% go and check them out, as well as all of the details for the Storytellers Hearth Write-a-thon and what is going on.
Sarah, can I ask, what's the 1991 challenge? I don't know what that is.
The 1991 challenge is me stupidly writing for 90 minutes a day for 90 days in a row, focusing on one project. So it was one of the ways that I decided to try and work with my recent ADHD diagnosis in order to get me to regularly work on my stuff. Today is day 83. I'm going to be working on that project today as well. So I will be picking a chapter out of my box before we start our sprint. And I've been live streaming those 90 minutes every single day as well. So a lot of hard work, a lot of stress sometimes, but it's going good. I'm having fun.
What's really fun are those 90-minute sprints.
Yes. 90 minutes every single day.
Well,
Sometimes.
congrats on 83 days straight.
Thank you. What is everybody working on today? Or at least
Where do we want to start?
we can start immediately where we started with the introductions. We'll just go left and right.
Okay.
We'll go this way and all the way around.
All right, today I'm just working on my small town romance. I'm currently just drafting. So
How's that coming along?
it's coming along. I've done a lot more like organization for this one than I do usually in my projects. So I think that I've got this one, and I'm gonna finish this one good. So.
Kat, what are you
I
working on?
am working on book 6 out of 7 for my young adult fantasy series. I've got about 9,972 words in the story, and I'm going to hit 10K for this first sprint.
So excited for 10K. Andrea, what are you working on today?
Me. So I'm finally, I just already finished the research for my character. This is my first book, like long. I've been working on this like 2 years, I think, but the 20K that I wrote and written like, or 30K maybe, I have to wipe off because it didn't make sense what I wanted to happen with the profile of the character. So I managed to finally understand what it wasn't working. Like the motivation weren't there, the things that matter weren't there. So I think that I'm going to start writing today, drafting finally with this new found motivation and everything. And I have to say, Sarah, your shorts and your blogs have been really helpful. I'm also ADHD. I was a few years ago diagnosed, and my late diagnosis on the autism spectrum, and have been really helpful. Your charts, one, you actually managed to do 83 days in a row. That's really amazing for someone with ADHD and issues with executive function that is not really good. But those thoughts about writing have been really useful. About that time that we spent not writing, but we are also writing. It was, has been really awesome. Your
Thank you.
short take on that.
Thank you.
Especially focus on one project, because I haven't been diagnosed with ADHD. It does run in my family. All the men have it. My doctor thinks I do have it, but I just haven't gone through the process of getting diagnosis. But I started 7 projects last year. I told myself I wasn't going to do that this year.
You know what? I have already started a new project while I'm working on this new project. The inspiration hit, and I'm like, okay, great. So I'm working. Yeah.
I'm working on my second novel in my series, The Brides of the Dragon Kings. So this book is A Curse of Wings and Gems, but I'm also writing the novella for my ream. So I'm working on 2 at the moment. Some of them from last year I didn't finish, so they're on hold until I finish these ones. But yeah, and when I'm on live streams, because I'm on 4 streams altogether, one I'm hosting, I plan to be writing. But I do have a ton of admin that I still need to get done for the authorship writing conference. We'll have the attendee packet coming out probably Tuesday now. I wanted to have it Monday, but one of our speakers had to switch out with someone else. And so we're waiting on information from them. And I want to have the attendee packet as put together as possible, but that will be a downloadable PDF. So you guys, and it will be clickable. So you can go to the streams that you want to go to, and whichever authors you want to, or writers, authors, or businesses, because we do have some, we have a literary agent who is presenting this year. So he doesn't write, but he looks at works, and he's on our first page critique panel. So he'll be looking at anonymously submitted first pages and with 2 other judges and talking about those. And so, yeah, I will be working on that admin stuff in between the streams. So
I do love it when, I think it was years ago, and I can't remember who it was, but they did sort of like an AuthorTube virtual retreat sort of thing, where it was basically like a writing retreat sort of conference, but online, and everybody hosted either sprints or different skill sets or learning or how to do this, that, and the other. And I know the organization it takes to do something like that is absolutely epic.
Yeah.
It's the same with the Storytellers Hearth Weekend Relay. The amount of organization that goes into something like that.
To be honest, if it wasn't for
I can't
all the
even
people,
imagine.
yeah, if it wasn't for all the people who signed up to volunteer this year, I don't think I would have done it again, because it was just so much last year. I was really stressed. The last 2 weeks leading up to the conference, I was sleeping at my desk, and I was getting a couple hours of sleep to wake up and try and figure things out, because the year before I had a different partner who did the website and all that, and I crashed the website last year. So I was like, oh my gosh, it was just so much. But yeah, we have tons of people helping out this year. That's the only way we're still going.
Yeah, absolute respect. I can't imagine the hard work. So the fact that you're doing this and putting this all together, for the writing community, like, love it. Absolutely amazing. Everyone go check that out. I'm going to be checking it out myself. I am working on my novel. It's a dark academia, and I say that with bunny ears because technically it's my first dark academia that I've done. Fantasy. I can't explain it very well, but I've got, I think, 5 chapters left to do in that novel, so we're going to be working on that for the rest of the 90 minutes, and it's going to take some finagling for me to set up my tracker for that. So once we do get going, I do apologize, it's going to be a minute or so while I get that all sorted out. As it is, we shall go into the first sprint. If we do 3 30-minute sprints, if that's okay. Does that give everybody here time to go and do what they need to do, kiddie-wise, lunch-wise, dinner-wise?
Yep.
Without too much issue?
Sounds good to me.
Fantastic. No, I need to share my screen again. I had it all set up earlier, and then I think I accidentally clicked out of it, and now it's not actually where I need it to be. There we go. Lovely. Let me pick my chapter out of a box first. This is a weird way I've been writing my novel, is all of my chapters are written on these pieces of paper, and I've literally just been picking one out of a box at random, and then that's what I end up writing. So everything has been written non-chronologically, just to make it a little bit more fun and unpredictable.
I bet that drives some people nuts, thinking about you writing it, non-chronologically, not linearly. So
the plot holes that I give myself, because I add stuff later on in the book, because that's just what happens. I go, oh, that's a good idea, let me add that in, and then there's no foreshadow or lead up or context for it throughout the entirety of the back end of the novel. But there we go. I'll fix it later. Number 6. Right, so if everybody has got all of their things ready to go, we are going to start our first sprint. This is not going to be what we're doing. Ooh, and let me turn that white noise off as well, actually. White noise, none. Right, if everybody is ready, we're going to start our first sprint, 30 minutes, 3, 2, 1, and begin. Okay, that is the end of the first sprint. How did everybody do? Let me pause that timer. We don't leave that up. Which one did I have on? I've not used StreamYard in a hot minute with anybody here, so if I click the wrong button, it probably will happen. Countdown. JC, hello, how are you? How do we do, Alyce? We'll start with you.
I did good that sprint. I got 189 words, so I'm almost done with the scene that I'm writing. So.
That's good. Kat?
Just a second. I am calculating.
I love the little display you've got in the background, Kat. Your little corner that's got like the yeah.
Oh, the flowers?
Yeah, it looks really pretty.
Thank you.
We've got 2714 CB394.
Sorry, I did.
You to read in.
Sorry, I was trying to wait for everyone to say what they did, but 257 is what gotten for me.
More world building.
I got about 556 words, about. So I hit the 10K mark.
Well done.
Congrats.
Congrats.
Well done.
I'm wasting time changing a document so I can print it as I like. I bought a guide, a thing, and I don't like how it prints because it wastes a lot of paper printed because the margins, because it's made for digital reading, not for printing, but I like to print things, so I waste a lot of time changing the thing to be okay for printing. That's one of my lovely traits of not able to print the thing just like it is, but how I want it to be. But,
yeah, formatting into different sort of ways of doing everything is definitely one of the things that you never think you would have to do as a writer or an author. But somehow I hear that it's quite a big part of making sure that everything you want to get published or printed, or whether you put it up on all obviously the different sites like Amazon, etc., etc. There's a lot more work that goes into prepping it than I thought there was. Maya, hello. 725. I don't know how many words I got, mostly because I don't track my word count. But I have started to piece together the chapter that I'm working on itself, at least a little bit. I don't quite know what's going to happen in it because I didn't outline it properly. But we'll make it up as we go along and see how that works. Right. Here. Question for everybody. Does anybody have any goals that they are planning to hit for this weekend?
I don't have like a specific goal. Just want to get some writing done so I have something to give to my critique partner on Monday. We usually exchange up to 12,000 words. It'd be nice if I could get close to that. I didn't. I only had like 8,000 to give her last week. So, but whatever I can get her.
Yeah. At least it's something.
I am hoping to at least get 10,000 words this weekend, but my bare minimum is like 5,000 this weekend.
How much have you done for that so far? 'Roughly.
3,000 maybe.
Any goals, Andrea, Alyce?
just to start writing. I'm happy with the character development at this point. I'm happy to understand why it's not working and how it's working now, how it can work now. So that I'm happy to.
Your main goals, Alyce?
Yeah, I want to try to get at least through chapter 5 written on this book. That's my goal.
What chapter are you on now?
2.
Chapter. Well, you've still got all of the rest of today, and you've got all of tomorrow.
Yeah, I think I can do it. I just gotta like get in the zone.
Plenty of time to get it done. I'm glad everybody has got some goals to do. I don't have a goal either. Literally, it's just let's just do some writing on something other than this project as well, because I have too many things I need to work on that I am currently not working on. So I've done a little bit of work earlier on one of my revision projects. I've got this now, and then I'm at work all day tomorrow, unfortunately. But we'll see how much work I can do with the revision for another project after this stream and whatever time I have for the rest of the day. Oh, Millwordy. Yeah, absolutely. Anybody else here actually tried to take part in Millwordy before?
Oh, no. No. What?
How did you guys do? Those who tried it.
Failed miserably. This was before my ADHD diagnosis. So I went into it really, really, as you do with ADHD, went into it really, really positive, really, really amped up. Like, yeah, we can do this. Had a fantastic start. And then my brain lost interest in it. And then I just stopped doing it.
Absolutely.
Last time I tried this, I only did like, I don't know, a month worth of writing. And then I failed. And this time oh wow, this time is much better. I did 50,000 in January, 52,000 in February, 25,000 in March, 50,000 in April, and let's see, how did I do in May? I don't know. 46,000 in May. So I'm doing pretty good.
You're like on track for like a half word melody or something, right? I just divided the 1 million words by 12, and it says the average is 83,000 words.
Yeah. So I'm on track to do at least a half, but probably a 3/4 melody.
Nice.
It's a lot of words.
It is.
That's a lot of words.
I can do NaNoWriMo easily. I can add an extra few thousand words onto that. I've done it before. No. Maybe for a month or so, but then it's like, no, now it's a struggle. No.
I didn't start tracking my words until last year. I did it for the whole year just to see what I could write in a year. And I wrote 314,666 words. So I just bumped it up to 400,000 for this year. So hopefully maybe next year I can bump it up a little bit more. And maybe one of these years I'll hit Milwaukee. I don't know.
Just accidentally, just randomly, oh, look at that, 1 million words. No effort whatsoever.
Yeah, I wish I could do that. No.
Oh, no, same.
My first 4 books are like, let's see, 50, 40, 50, 70, well over 200,000 words, just those 4 books.
Yeah.
But I would ask too, what do you guys track as far as words? Like for me, I track like all the words I write for brainstorming, for editing, revising, and drafting. You guys track all that too?
Yeah.
I didn't know if I was cheating by like tracking my brainstorming words, but I'm like, but they're part of my writing process. So
Yeah.
For me, it's every single word that I write, I include.
I honestly can't remember what I ended up tracking in the end. Possibly my brainstorming words as well. Maybe I went a little bit too stupid and went just the words that I write for the actual projects. Honestly can't remember which way that I did it. Yes, JC, you wrote them. It's not cheating.
Sure.
Call it a legal loophole.
You wrote those words, so yeah.
I know some people who are like, every single email that I write for work, every single thing that I do for school, that I journal, like I'm going to include those words as well as part of the 1 million. So it's literally every single word that they wrote, they've counted towards their overall word count.
If I did that, I'd hit 1 million easily because I've written so many things this year that's not, it was like AuthorTube related stuff or the conference stuff. I've written like so many SOP packets with everything. So it was like, oh.
There we go. That's how you beat the system. Count it all.
But I will say that the reason why I started tracking is because I was not happy that I was spending more time doing YouTube, AuthorTube stuff versus actually writing. And I wanted to increase my writing and my writing side and write more. So that's why I start tracking. So I think that's why I only track those things.
See, I did the opposite. I stopped tracking my word count. Specifically because I was not working on my writing as much as I wanted to. And seeing my very terrible word count was like upsetting me.
Yeah.
So it's like, why do I bother? Like, I'm not writing so much. I'm being really terrible. So I stopped tracking word count specifically because I wasn't working on my writing enough. And now I just track the time that I spend working on my projects rather than how much I write while I'm in a session of work. Which for me takes the pressure off a little bit to try and get a high word count, because I equate a high word count with doing a good job.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's part that drafting, yes, your word count goes up and up and up and up. But then when you're editing or, you know, your word count is not going to be higher and higher and higher. You are not, it's taking the purpose of the number that our ADHD brains love so much.
Yep.
So yeah, I think the time spent on your work is more, can be less damaging than the workout itself.
Yep.
Hmm.
I think
Well,
it's
you
just
see,
how No, you go.
You I am high functioning autistic, so I have to work with different systems at different times. And because I'm also ADHD, I have like a word count and color tracker. So for every, let's see, up until 1,000 words for each day, I have black for my color. So I crochet a black row into a square and so on and so forth. So with the amount of words that I get a new color. And that's my system for motivating myself.
Yes, love that. That's going to be my next question after we get back from our next sprint. What systems do you have in place for writing? Right. Speaking of a sprint, we shall get into our second one.
Let's do it.
I'm trying to go every sort of half an hour sprint, 15-minute chat, and that will sort of bring us nicely to about 7:30-ish. This button. Yes. Got it correct. Right, we are going to go into our second 30-minute sprint if everybody is ready. 3, 2, 1. I need to bring my tracker up actually. Hang on a second. I know what I'm doing. It's fine. And begin.
Sarah, the timer's frozen.
Thank you. Okay, that is the end of the second sprint. How did everybody do? I apologize for the timer being absolutely stupid. I don't know what happened there. It did not happen during the first sprint. Somehow happened with the second one. I'll try and fix it for next time, or be a little bit more careful with how that is going. Come here. Alyce, how did we do?
I did good. I got 187 words almost again. So,
Yes.
and I finished a scene and I'm moving on to another one. So, I think I'm doing good.
Good, good. Kat?
I did good. I got more coffee and I got some cereal. It's still breakfast time here, almost lunch. But I also got 250 words.
Yes, well done. Andrea?
I keep editing that thing to print, and I was entertained looking for the translation for the word alfajor, because I'm enjoying my coffee with an alfajor, and it has the most underwhelming translation. It's just caramel cookie that it cannot express the joy of an alfajor. But yeah, I was drinking coffee with an alfajor. Don't caramel cookie. Don't no, it's not good enough.
Shanon, what did we get done?
I did dictation because I'm a slow typer, but I got, oh shoot, I just had it pulled up. Here we go. 949 words. So.
That's so much.
Yeah, well, I can dictate pretty fast. My brain works really fast, so I can dictate fast. So, but typing, I'm slow typer. They say that dictation works better for people who think faster than they type, which I'm a very slow typer. So, yeah.
See, I think quite fast, but if I try to talk out what I'm thinking in my head, it does not go well. So typing it is for me. I've tried dictation. I always get this thing. I don't know what it is. I sort of realize I'm dictating, and then I sort of second guess everything that I'm saying, and then my brain stops working.
I treat that as like if you think about free writing. So if you start thinking about something else, just free write, just continue dictating into the program, whatever it is you're thinking. And then like, okay, and I've said this, I'm like, okay, Shannon, let's get back to task at hand. This is what we're supposed to be doing. We're on this scene right now. Here's your main character. Here's his or her motivation. This is the beginning emotional arc. Here's where it should end in a chapter. And by doing that, then I'm able to get back into it. But I do have like lots of years of practice with it. And I think that helps.
See, I never thought of doing it that way. Because I can talk out loud fine and get myself through what I'm thinking. The second I hit record and my words are being recorded, then it's like, no, I can't. But no, I'll definitely have to try free speaking, I guess.
Another thing is that I don't look at the
dictation.
screen. Yeah, I don't look at the dictation screen that I'm dictating into. I have like my notes pulled up on my brainstorming notes. So I'm like looking through that as I'm trying to write so that helps me too. Because yeah, when I look at my notes, I'm like, what am I saying?
Just going through them afterwards and thinking, oh no, I didn't quite catch what I said. That doesn't make sense now, and I have to sort that out.
Yeah, it happens to me all the time. But thank you.
I've done 907 words so far in this chapter.
Nice.
That's over the past 2 sprints at least. I don't know how far I've got until I finish.
I do everything is free. Oh, sorry.
No, it's fine. I don't know the point I'm trying to make either, but I'll figure that
out. To answer her question, I use Speech Texter, which is an online free program. I do things as free as possible. So.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. If it's something free I can use, I'm all there for it. Yeah. Regina, hello. How are you doing today? Dictation. Yeah, I think that's the issue with some dictation programs. It's, can you speak clearly enough? Can they understand different accents, dialects, and things like that in a way that doesn't make it sound like gibberish when it gets put onto the page?
Like with dictation, it doesn't understand my lisp.
Oh, yes. Yeah. 100% technical difficulties on the bingo square. Go for it. Oh, we've answered that. Speech texter. Speech texter for anybody after the dictation. Right, so what I wanted to ask everybody, which was brought up lovely in the past. Kat, this was you. Does anybody have any systems in place for when they do their writing? I'm not talking outlines or anything like that. Is there a certain set of things that you do to help you remain accountable, to help you do your routines or anything like that?
So I have my things are for not get me anxious for not writing. That's my system. So first of all, I surrender to the idea that I use a variety of notebooks. I don't use one. I have like 3. I write by hand when I'm thinking, like if I outlining, if I start doing the thing, I need to write by hand because that allowed me to think better and then write. Yes. And when I already know what I wanted to write, I go to Scrivener or something, digital, because I type really fast. But also because my brain cannot start just writing. Like I need like 3. The time for me is make me anxious not having like 3 hours for writing. So I create 2 mini and micro routines. So I'm a lecturer, so there's my schedule is not fixed at all. Like my schedule change every 18-20 weeks. I have another schedule. Is for the autism and ADHDers. That's a nightmare with our brains. So I created 2 mini micro routines. Like if I have 30 minutes to write, so I have 1 minute to take the notebook to not clean, but take everything on the desk and just start writing. Like, don't try to put everything in order. Don't waste time in other things, and just go to on sprint mode, and that allowed me not be anxious for not having 4 hours to write. So
Yeah.
my system is to understand what is make my brain anxious and take everything away from that. And so you need 500 books, notebooks to write. Done. You have 500 notebooks to write. Uh, you want to write with a notepad or a notebook or a Neo, an Alpha Smart. You do you, boo. So don't feel anxious because you are not like really like you sit down and just write for 5 hours. And no, I cannot do that. So my sister is don't be anxious. You do you. You write as you can, as you want. And the important thing is to put the words in the thing that you want to put the words. So yes, my system is relax. You can do it, and that's the way. And that's the way I can do it.
I think it definitely helps to like know and understand yourself a little bit, that definitely, that's what I had to figure out about myself, to get a good system that worked as well, Andrea. I found that I'm definitely a morning writer. I can do at night, but I'm not very good at night. And then we are a retired family, so I am home during the day. So I decided last year when I knew that I wanted to write more than do YouTube, but I didn't want to lose what I was doing on YouTube. That's when I decided, okay, Monday through Thursday, I'm doing writing sprints in the morning. And I try to dedicate that time only to writing. I knew that there might be days that I wouldn't be able to write because like the Author Tube Writing Conference takes a lot of time. So like the last couple weeks, I've not written every single day, but this year is going better now that we have a lot of help with the conference, that I've been able to write many days in June. Last year, I didn't write a single day in June because of the conference. So it definitely helps to know that. I think it also helps to know what works best for your brain, like what motivates you. If you guys are familiar with Becca Syme's Clifton Strengths test, in my top 5, my number 3 is actually achiever. So like I do good, like I get things done. But to know that, I like give myself a goal. And I think tracking my writing, it's almost like a game of like, can I get there? So I track it. I write down numbers all week. And then every Sunday night, I get to sit down and see how much did I write for the week? How much did my percentage change? So it's kind of like a game with myself. And that's really motivated me as well. So.
Yes. Anyone else? Alyce, do you have a system that you use?
Yes. So I talked about it in one of my videos. I have a writing journal that I keep track of how many words and stuff that I write. I try to at least get 1,000 words a week because I'm also an avid reader. So I read for my YouTube channel and I write and I'm a mom. So I have to like space out what I can do and understand that I don't need to overload myself. So if I don't make that 1,000 word goal, I'm not going to beat myself up about it.
Yes, I think that is so super important, is definitely not focusing on what you have not done, but focusing on what you have done instead. Something that I took me a very, very long time to learn and be okay with. Sometimes I'm not going to write lots. I'm not going to be that productive for so many days in a row. But just because I'm not writing how I wrote last week doesn't mean that I'm terrible for changing how I'm doing things.
Yeah. I don't know if you can see this, but every day I write like, I know you can't see it. I put like my daily word count in here in my spreadsheet. And then I do this. Every 1,000 words has a new color.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Your blanket.
So,
yes.
my Mill Wordy blanket is coming along.
I'm so excited to see that once it's all finished. I think the only thing that I do, and it's not that I do it all the time either, it's just always in my head. Because I have ADHD, I'm always trying to find a way that works for me, and I'm still trying to find a way that works for me. So I will cling to whatever sort of new way that sounds fun or sounds like I could do it, and then I'll do it that way for a little bit until I just stop doing it that way. But one thing that I always have in the back of my mind, and there's a lot of different variations and names of this, but it is the traffic light system or the good, better, best system. So when I remember to do it, I give myself a good goal, a better goal, and a best goal. And so depending on how I am physically and mentally feeling that day, I'll always try and aim for best. But if I am particularly tired or down, or I've been at work for ages, I'll aim for good. So no matter how I'm feeling, no matter what part of the goal I hit, I'll always feel that I have hit my goal and achieved something. And I just pick which one or which goal best fits how I'm feeling that day.
I found that I can't be very detailed. Like, I know I have that set writing time in the morning. So, but usually when I sit down, I don't know what I'm going to do. I do track it. I've tried all kinds of different trackers. I've tried doing pretty colors. And I found the best thing is I just have a book in front of me and I track it there every day. It's the only thing that really goes in there, but I track it by what project I'm working on, what part of the process, the writing process, with time and words. And then I even gamify it here. Like, I don't know if that's really clear, but here I wrote down like the chapters I revised. And I wrote down like what was the starting word count and what was the ending word count, because I want to know how many words did I cut. And especially with this novel I'm writing, it's getting really, really long. So I'm trying to like make it more concise. So I'm like, make it a game. Like, how much did I cut in these 3 chapters compared to the last 3 chapters? So
yes, that's the thing with ADHD. You make it a game, you make it a challenge, you make it interesting. You want to make it super complicated because it has to be perfect. But in reality, it needs to be simple for you to want to continue doing it.
Yes. And that's why I can't do detail, because it's like, wait, that's like boxing me in. I can't do detail because what if I change my mind at the last minute and do something else?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. And the other thing is really important, that while you looking for the perfect system, at least this ADHD brain, it doesn't have one perfect system. I have all the systems, right? All the ways. Like a few weeks is going to work this way, but next week, you know what? No, it's not going to work that way, and be okay with that. Like,
I was just thinking about changing my system.
I just have all the system, and I remember a video, Sarah, I think was you, talking about you cannot have notebooks because you lost the notebooks or something like that. You have too many notebooks of her. What I've done is, because I get bored of the notebook and I want to change notebooks. So what I do is take pictures of what I wrote in that notebook, and I save everything in one Notion file, so I don't lose the things that I written in how many notebooks that I have. And I don't feel bad because I have 5 different notebooks for many things that I've done. So yeah, the phone camera and the notebooks are okay. That's everything in a Notion or whatever system you want, and it's amazing not to feel pressure for, oh, I have to keep this thing for a year. No, I can't. No, 2 weeks.
I would say to this for just Eva. So there were a few days last year, especially days that I felt like particularly like overwhelmed, or I just needed a break, that I didn't keep track of my writing. And I just thought, oh, well, I lost track of those words I lost those days. And I told myself, when I figured it out for the whole year, I told myself, you need to be more diligent about this. Because it wasn't like very regular. It was just a few days during the year that I didn't track my writing. And I thought, okay, I need to make it's a game for the year. So I think that's what helped. So I'm gamifying it. So I was gamifying it by day. Like, do I get words today? How many words can I cut? Because right now that's my goal for my current novel is to cut words. And then I gamify it for the week, like how much further on my percentage bar, because I put a percentage bar at the top of my writing sprints, which I show everybody. So I'm like, how much is that going to change next week for everyone to see? So it's like a gamifying, knowing that I'm being held accountable to nobody who may show up, but if they do show up, there it is. And then I gamify it. Now I'm gamifying it for the whole year too. So my goal is this, and I want to hit that. And I'm wondering, because I'm getting close to my goal for the year, when I hit it, I wonder what my brain will do then. Will I stop tracking? I don't know. So.
And Eva, I that happened to me sometimes, that I like to track words, but sometimes I forget. And what I do is that when I count the words, I put some like post-it or color, something that I know that's the final word that I count that day. So if I forget for a week, when I want to start counting again, I know where the last day that I count. So I can say, oh, well, I don't know how many words I wrote each of those days, but I know the last 10 days I wrote, 1,000 words. And then I can continue the counting. I think that my brain is really good at give up when when I'm not constant. Like when I don't do the things every single day, I just gave up. And then I understand you don't need to give up. You cannot give up. You just don't do it that day, and life goes on, and you can keep tracking again.
Like, yeah, it's not stressing what you're missing. Yeah. Just move on.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, you can count anyway.
See, this is one of the things that I found with word count was if I wanted to track my word count, I would consistently forget to check what my word count was when I started, to check what my word count was when I finished before I started the next sprint. And the only way that I managed to overcome that was literally opening up my document, and before I started writing, would write down what my word count was before I start the session. And then have that just like as a little post-it note on my desk.
I just yellow highlight the last thing I wrote in my document. I yellow highlight it. So when I finish the sprint,
then you can go back and see it.
Yeah.
Okay. There's a lot of different ways to do it. I don't know if there's an app or a program or anything that specifically tracks word count, that you don't physically have to put your word count into it every day.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know if something like that exists. I'm gonna have to look and see if it does. I
think
the only thing I track is time, but that tracks for me with the timers that I use, so I don't have to sit there and figure out how long I've spent doing my stuff because it tracks it for me with the timer. I don't know if Scrivener does it.
I thought that I see I don't use it, but like a session word count. I don't know. I think that it does. I don't know.
I'm opening my Scrivener and I'm checking now if I can find what I need to do.
I thought I heard that too. I don't use Scrivener. I found that all the apps out there, they really don't work for me. I have to just handwrite it, and it has to be right in front of me, or I don't handwrite it down. So,
yeah, Scrivener does have a session target, and it has a manuscript target, so it will tell you how many words you've written in the current session. I don't know if it saves that for you to keep track of it over a length of time.
If it does, I have no idea where to find that.
I know Google Docs. Google Docs will give you like a history of your changes, and so I don't know. I don't know if it will track it that way too, but it's an idea that could be checked out for those who might think it might work.
Yeah.
So much stuff in Scrivener. Who knows what it is?
Yeah, because Scrivener just shows you at the bottom how many words you have in your document, like in that little area you got, or like when you start a new one, like it'll show you how many words you can accumulate while you're writing. But other than that, I don't know.
Yeah, like an accountability partner for your husband. Be accountability partner, Eva.
Yeah. Okay,
really? I've been wanting to
deleted with every writing session. Oh, okay.
An autocrit is going to be one of our guest speakers at the conference. if I'm trying to set it up where they do a special presentation after hours to do a walkthrough of the platform, to do practical knowledge of the theoretical knowledge you're going to talk about during the conference, which is reverse outlining a manuscript. But I've been wanting to get AutoCrit for years, and I did not know it also tracked that. That's another reason to get it.
There's so many writing programs out there now.
Yeah.
And I don't know which Scrivener. It says go to project and writing history to see your daily and total writing history for the current project.
Yeah.
I
Figured
also
it would
love
probably be on there somewhere.
The For the Words website is like really fun because it's like a game. Like it's like an adventure as you're tracking.
And AutoCrit is offering 2 1-year free memberships to their program during the conference. That's part of the giveaway prizes.
Let me take another random notepad off my desk and write down all of these to then inevitably lose them in my pile. I mixed 2 piles of paper, my old pile and my current pile, so that's going to be fun to sort out later. What am I like? We'll prep to get into the next sprint. We've got a good hour until the next one starts. So we'll at least put it before we go. Just writing down all of these recommendations for anything. If anybody does have any recommendations for writing apps, writing trackers, writing programs, drop the name in the comments, because I'm always looking for new ones to give it a try, just to see if they I can't write, just to see if they work a little bit better for me than Scrivener or Google Docs does. And keeps a history of your own project as well. Okay, so somewhere in Scrivener you can track your word count. That is good. The amount of things Scrivener can do, I don't know 90% of what it can actually do. I literally use it to type.
Yes, I just check, and you go to project and history, and it says, oh, this day you wrote this and this and this. Yes, and it's kind of easy to find, but I just Google now.
There's so much on Scrivener, though. My brain cannot focus. I get in there, I'm like, what am I supposed to be looking at? I'll open it a few times and close it back up and never use it.
That's why I don't use all of the features for it. Like, I separate the chapters. I've got my little sections for all of my different chapters and stuff like that. And that is the most that I ever use Scrivener for. I have never gone into any detail whatsoever in regards to everything that it can do. But I like the organization I can get with it that I can't get with like Google Docs or anything like that. I prefer having each chapter or scene separate, so it's easy for me to find it and edit it and revise it a bit later.
I think like the older I get, I feel like it's, things are getting worse as far as my focus and concentration. Like if I look at something that has a lot on the page, whether it's a screen or whatever, my brain like skips around. Like I skip around the words and stuff, and then I miss stuff, and I'm like, wait, what was supposed to be there? I've done that in emails now, and I never used to do that. I used to be very good at the details of emails. Like I'll respond, and they're like, well, I said this already. I'm like, oh yeah, you did. I missed it.
Yes, it's too much to look at. Your brain just can't. Oh, what's that? Oh, what's this? Oh, what's that?
Yeah.
Yes, 100%. Right, we are going to go into the last and final sprint. Hopefully my time is not going to be stupid. That remains to be seen. So if we are ready, we're going to start in 3, 2, 1 and begin. Okay, and that is the end of the final sprint for the stream. How did everybody do that time? Oh, on that one. Alyce, how did you do?
I was trying to get my word count, but I think I got probably about 140 words that time. I got lunch, so that's my other thing I was doing.
Lunch is just as important as writing. Something I can never remember.
I did not do much writing that time. I got 75 words.
You got something. Something's better than nothing.
Took care of things, but I haven't written anything. So you're better than me, Kat. 74 words more than me.
Call it a productivity sprint, you're good.
Sometimes you have to take care of stuff before you can get to writing.
Yes, yes.
I got 943. Again, dictation.
Dictation.
Yeah.
Oh, you fly through that. I don't know. I wrote. I finished the chapter I was working on. Don't know how many words I wrote, but at least that is done and dusted. Melon's been beta reading. What is a lemon shake-up business?
I don't know. So.
Nice in English. I don't know what that is.
I am assuming it's some type of like lemonade stand or lemonade business, or
something.
Take it up like fresh. So it's like fresh instead of like powdered. It's probably fresh. That's what I'm thinking.
That's what it sounds like. Yeah.
Lemon sugar ice shake.
You are correct.
Oh, that's nice.
I like that.
Sugar ice. I love it. I actually, I recognize your Focus to Do app, Sarah, and it was like, yes. I have that one. Yes, I have it. I actually have the premium, and I haven't used it like in years. I have
you not?
I didn't even have it on my phone, on the iPad, anything. Yeah.
Do you know what? I use it every day. This is how I track all of my stuff that it is that I want to track. So that tracks awesome. Basically just tracks all of my time I've spent writing and what projects.
And I have to say that one of the things, because my phone is an Android phone, but I have an iPad and my computer is a Windows, and rarely those things that the account is for all of them. Like I usually you have to buy the Scrivener for iPad and the Scrivener for Windows and the Scrivener for whatever. But Focus to Do, I just download it on the iPad and it's use the same account, and it's the premium thing all the way. Yep. So I don't know how much it costs today, but because this one I bought it like, I don't know, 5 years ago. And it's the same. So that's another good for the Focus to Do.
Yes. Doesn't help much with the word count, but definitely with everything else. The report is, if I can get it to work properly. So basically it tracks how many writing sprints I've done, how many hours I've focused on each week, each day. And then depending on what task I'm doing. So if I go back, it breaks down all of my different projects that I work on in different colors and gives me like how much time I've spent on each of them. Just nice and pretty to look at, so I can go, oh yeah, I did work. Yes, yay for me. But yeah, all of my projects are on there, and all of the time I've spent. So it's nice to look at, especially with all of the sort of color coding that it's got going on as well.
I do all that in Spread Excel. What did you say? What report? That's Scrivener or something else?
That's in Focus To Do. So it's
Okay.
it's a Pomodoro timer app where you can set your own Pomodoro lengths and break times and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
And then you can track different projects and you can track what you're working on in each specific project. So it lets me see how long I spent on a specific chapter, how long I spent brainstorming, how long I spent revising compared to all of the other projects that I've done.
See, I log everything that I write in here. I log it on Sunday into my Spread Excel, and I set it all where it's dropped down, so I could choose what project, what process, and then so I can break it down. And it breaks it down by how much time I'm spending on each process, each project. It does all the stats. I set it all up once, and so it does it for me now. But if something happened to that, it'd be gone, versus what you have, which is probably online.
Hopefully, if I can remember my login details at least.
There you go.
Right, so it is 7:30. I think we are going to call it for the stream there. Ava's asking if you have that as a template somewhere, Shannon.
It's on my PC.
Hey, Shannon.
Yeah.
Before we go, can you put the link that you use for dictation, the free software, in the chat?
I can't put the link into the chat because I'm not moderated, so it won't show up. But it's speechtexter.com. I'll put the first part, speech texter, and then you just add .com to this.
And that's for the dictation.
Yeah. I would say it's very similar to Word. I mean, they both have their issues, but like where Word has issues, like Word will tell me, like literally, I'll say next line, and it'll say you're lying. It doesn't understand my next line. It says you're lying. So, but on speech texture, and I'm partially tone deaf for those who don't know, so sometimes my words probably don't sound the same or whatever. So my and A-N-D and my ends I-Ns sound the same, and so I can get either one. But usually I can figure that out when I'm editing. So
yeah. Can Excel be converted to Google?
No. I tried to do it in a Google Sheet to start with because I didn't want it to be housed on my computer in case something did happen, but I couldn't get the charts to do what I want them to do. They're Google Docs or Google Sheet is very limited in what charts and what it can give you.
Yeah. We're talking about your and your in coming and mixing.
Yeah.
With my accent, I say fixin', and they do fix, and then they space it sometimes, and I'll do in, or they'll just make it all weird, and I'm like,
in any word that I say a past tense version with an ed on the end, if it has a t, so it's t, like I'm trying to think of it, like I can't think of a word at the moment, like sheeted, it would always do sheet and then in.
yeah.
Or do it, sheet it. Instead of sheet it.
Technology sometimes you wish it would work properly, but there's always something that it doesn't do just quite right. Okay. The next stream number 6, I believe, is Emma Bennett. That starts at
next hour.
That starts
3
on the
p.m.
top of the hour. Is it 3 p.m.? I'm trying to convert it in my head. That starts at 3 p.m. If you are watching these streams through the Storytellers Hearth playlist, it should automatically take you to the next one when this one has finished. The link for that is in the description. If not, Emma Bennett, and she will be the next sprint that we go to. I'm definitely going to have to put together some sort of ADHD discussion panel for writers.
Yep.
That would be an awesome one for the conference. There is someone who's talking about writing and autism during the conference. So, Sarah, you could do that for the Author Tube Writing Conference next year.
Anything to help out anyone else ADHD. You guys probably have a lot of tips and tricks that I don't know that can definitely help. And a lot of us have ADHD and autism, which I didn't ever realize.
Yeah.
So it'd be nice to sort of connect to a lot more authors who have sort of similar struggles in that way as well. Do we want to do a quick outro for everybody? We'll start with Alyce.
You can find me on Alyce Reads on YouTube or Alice_M.R_reads on Instagram.
You can find me here on YouTube at Katrina Author _2021. And you can also find me on Instagram, Katrina_Nicole_Smith.
Yep. Andrea?
I have a great time. I don't have anything. And now to Shanon, they have a proper outro, not like me.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for having us on, Sarah. This was awesome. Got lots of stuff done. And I will be on Emma's stream next, so you'll find me there. I have my stream tomorrow morning, really early. It's 5 a.m. Eastern, which is 4 a.m. my time. So really early. I didn't mean to sign up for it, but once they were like, well, you signed up for it, I'm like, okay, well, I like to stick to my commitment, so I'll keep it. So yes, really early. And then I'm on another one tomorrow. I will be back on Monday. Monday I have sprints. It's my monstrous Monday sprints, is what I call them. They're an hour long, and I go a long time during the day, and then just Pomodoro sprints Tuesday through Thursday, and then the author chip writing conference next Friday. So
Lovely, lovely. And my name is Sarah. I have been your host. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. I had an absolute blast. You can find me again tomorrow on my YouTube channel at, I want to say it's 4:30 p.m. EST for another 90-minute sprint for my 1991 challenge, day 84. All of the links for all of my wonderful co-hosts and the Storytellers Hearth are down below in the comments. I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day. Have a fantastic rest of the relay, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye, everyone.
bye.
Bye.